Well, actually, this shows a lot of research from NA. Ryze is the #1 mage pick, or maybe #2 behind Diana in China as well. So even though his Greg is available, he says, no, Ryze going to steal that one away. There's the Jarvan again, the other top 3 champion. And there's the Thresh. Wow. So those big 3 Chinese champions, they got all 3.
And that is why you can hear the crowd cheering, because these guys are educated. They know what is happening, and they're thinking, they've just given 3 of our champions, the most played champions, and these guys have seen them week in, week out in the Chinese LPL, and they're thinking, oh my god, we got this in the bag. But yeah, Zach getting locked in, we've seen him really strong in Europe and the North American LCS. It's got potential to upset them.
Definitely, and the thing that's funny about this is that North America said we are preparing for this match specifically. And the thing is, I mean, these are publicly available picks and bans. That, grabbed them all, did percentages, 85%. Okay, so NA knows these are the champions that China likes to play, and we're like, that's fine. Get the ones that you want, because we have a different strategy prepared. I mean, we cast WCG 2010, where you remember NA got like the dream team of like Garen, Tarek, bottom lane, and all that stuff, and Europe had this like random stuff, and they're like, yeah, we wanted you to pick that. We have a strategy prepared.
Oh, they've left Malphite open and they've taken it. It's going to be Dyrus on the Malphite, or it could be St. Vicious. We have seen Zach top a few times. In fact, hell, we've seen Zach mid lane, but this Ryze is in there. We're not going to see it there. Who will be the AD carrier? Sivir currently being hovered over. We'll see where the Wei Xiao goes with that one. Of course, Wei Xiao is going to be up against Double Lift's Vayne.
And that's going to be interesting. Now, Sivir's not a champion we see a lot in China. It's Varus and Caitlyn. Those are the 2 that we see so much from these guys. And Wei Xiao as well will play those long-range guys. It's weird because you're seeing such a different mix in styles here from North America. I thought, Saint said, yeah, they play a late-game farm game. We're not going to let them do that. But they picked Ryze and Vayne. They picked late-game champions. So apparently, like, yeah, we'll play your game on home soil instead of breaking yours apart.
Oh, my Lord. They've let Wei Xiao have Varus. Messiah is on Zed. They've got Thresh alongside him. Holy hell, I hope America have got something planned here, because they have got a dream team right now.
Exactly. They have the who's who of those lanes just on lock. I think the only reason Zed's not a higher pick banner, it wasn't even available for the entirety of the season. But this, I mean, you're absolutely right. This is a who's who Chinese squad. Every single person's going to love the champion they've grabbed, and probably going to excel on it as well. And now, to be fair, North America's got a very similar thing here, though, right? They've got Vayne on double lift, which is pretty well world-renowned, honestly. You've got Scar as Ryze, who's been very, very good, played him a lot throughout the summer promotion tournament as well. And I just want to see what the last grab is. I mean, Vayne is another late-game sort of defensive protect the Vayne champion.
It's going to be Janna as well, which is something we haven't seen a great deal of. Started coming out towards the tail end of the North American LCS and the European LCS. But we haven't seen it special on it too much.
That's true.
Not for a while, anyway.
It's been a lot of Sona, right? Like, Sona's been the #2 support for a really long time, right behind Thresh, and they're going to go for Janna here. So, breaking down these matchups a little bit, or these lineups, I should say, you've got kind of an interesting thing going on, because both teams have really good initiation. For China, you can start in with Trolls, Jarvan the 4th, layer the Equalizer on top of that. Varus can put his ultimate down there. The rest can kind of follow up after a little bit of time. You start the battle, you start dealing a bunch of damage. Pretty sound stuff. You've got a pretty well-rounded team at that point. However, for North America, it's pretty different. So you have the Malphite Zac initiation. Okay, so check that box. We can start fights when we want to. But instead of like, yeah, well, we can kind of follow up, it's like, no. We're going to start fights, but I mean, really, it's the Ryze and Vayne show here. It's we can start fights where Janna can push you back. So they've got kind of both sides of that there. And you've got, again, the double lift Vayne, the Scar Ryze, the late game power that we were so afraid of. Real good for North America.
And this also fits very heavily into the protect the double lift competition. Yeah. Composition, I should say. Competition as well, maybe.
Well, sure.
Maybe it's a competition against COG. If they can protect them any better, we'll see how it goes. But the composition they have, and you think if Jarvan goes in and they follow in there, you've got the Malphite unstoppable force if they all pile in one spot. You've got Zac bouncing around. You've got the Monsoon from Janna just saying, no, get away. And you've also got the knockback coming out from Vayne if he goes for the right target. But Wei Xiao's going to be stepping off at range. He's going to be staying back. But everybody else kind of wants to get in there. Zed almost certainly will be getting in there.
That's absolutely right. Janna is sort of categorized as this anti-melee champion. If you're Janna against like 4 melee guys, you're going to have a really hard time, because her passive gets everyone move speed. The Monsoon will just reset the fight. And Zed can jump back to his clone, but Jarvan and Rumble probably aren't going to do that very easily, nor will Thresh. So if they engage, Janna presses R, and it's like, well, now where do we go? I guess we have to like walk out of Vayne now. Good luck with that, right? Like it's not an easy thing to do. So North America's team comp is really well constructed, actually.
Well, they said they've been working for it, and they seem to have sorted out the perfect counter. We'll see how it works, of course. Here it is. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 1. It is going to be the All-Stars China LPL versus North American LCS team. Who's the strongest league? Will that be decided? Not really, but it will be fun regardless, and we're going to see how this one plays out.
I'm curious to see what the lane matchups end up actually being, because you look at Skara, who's a really big rock for his team, Dignitas, and is going to be a big rock for the North American squad.
A big rock. I see what you did there.
Well, I mean, he's not Malphite, but I mean, and to be fair, Dyrus is a big rock for TSM, so there we go. We got that one for you. But he's so used to 2v1ing, right? And Dignitas 2v1s mid so often just to give a free lane to their mid laner and hurt the enemy mid laner a whole heck of a lot. And I mean, shutting down a Zed in lane if Messiah stays mid, that's really, really good for the North American squad. They're going to really like doing that.
Well, at least we know Flamespitz has been chosen.
Yes. He's got that going on over and over. Don't worry about that. Which also surprised me for what it's worth, because a lot of Rumbles will start E as well. They'll start Electro Harpoon. And he's like, no, I've already picked this. I don't need to, like, poke things. And that, I mean, it just surprised me so much, because I'm thinking about it, and, like, Rumble's not really a PDD type champion.
Yeah.
Like his favorite champion
Malphite?
is Jarvan.
What, Malphite?
Well, his his pro player picks was Jarvan.
Right.
Right.
Well,
so
yeah.
PDD like loves the hell out of playing Jarvan and like jumping in on people super hard and using his body and like lancing people in the face. And Rumble is a little bit of that, right? But it's like, he drops the equalizer from far apart. He has to disengage sometimes. Like, it's a little bit less man mode than Jarvan, which I guess every champion's less man mode than Jarvan. All he kind of does is fight things.
He is man.
So it's just, I don't know, it's interesting that he's picked a skill I wouldn't have expected, but it's, again, the go all in, light things on fire skill. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of a tangent.
Do we think also that some of the players have gone with stick with what you know, which is we're seeing double S Vayne?
Yes.
Stick with what you know is definitely there. Skara on Rise, yeah.
It's his, like, fourth or fifth champion.
It's definitely in there, but there was a lot more available. Diana was the only one banned against it.
Mm-hmm.
So this has to be purposely for the team comp they said. They said they've got a plan. Is this the plan? Are they going to be so happy with these picks right now?
I think it's kind of going to be one of those time will tell things, because I literally just, like, my brain goes back when we were casting WCG, because it was like, you let them have those? And that's like all the conversation.
Twisted Fate comes out and everyone's like, oh, yeah. We didn't realize Twisted Fate was this strong.
Right. And the thing is, like, so much of that flashes back to me. Like, I called out the lineup and the crowd just, like, cheers like, what? Like, they're in unison with me, like, you got those champions.
It's, like, crazy.
And it happened here, too, right? Like, when Jarvan and Thresh got locked in, they erupted like, oh, my God, they got Jarvan. Like, everyone's on the same page here.
But, on the same vein, the champions that they do have been incredibly strong in both Europe and North America.
Of course.
So this isn't something that they're not going to be used to seeing this, or they will be used to seeing this, maybe not all together on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it, if I've ever seen this many champions, or what Alex Each would see OP champions in the same team together.
It's interesting because basically I looked at the kind of the popular picks, the top 50%, all the champions that were 50% pick or banned for both regions. And North America has 7 of these champions that are 50% or more are picked or banned. And Shen was the number 1 there, and we saw Shen immediately banned out. Shen is the number 13 champion in China, right? So there's clearly a difference there, where it's like North America, freaking Shen, split pushing, hot shot, and Dyrus, like, go for it. And the other side, you've got a very different mindset here. Again, where Rumble and Thresh and all that are the top picks there in China. And so it's interesting because China picked things that they know very, very well and are picks that are highly contested in LPL. And like half the North American lineup is like that, right? Zac and Malphite are guys, and Rise are champions that the Chinese are used to fighting against. But Vayne is a super uncommon AD carry there. It's super far down the list, and Janna as well. It's a bunch of Thresh and then Sona and then Lulu are like the big supports there, and then people don't ban supports all that much, and so you don't see a lot of the other ones there. So
and ironically, actually, you talked about Double Lift going with Vayne, and when we've been looking at them researching for this, we noticed that AD carriers are not really a respected pick. They're always down the end, or maybe they are ultra as respected because they're down at the end and they're waiting to be countered. But again, we saw them coming out 5th pick, 4th pick. It's like, they really want to get that mid laner first. Actually, I say that Messiah went for Zed last.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I mean, but at the same time, the early picks came in, right? The Chinese team rushed for their top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, the top 3 picks in China just flat out.
Which is ironic because, you know, we did all that work to figure out the percentage odds. I shouldn't say I did all that work. I was kind of.
He was behind me helping.
I was just kind of sitting there watching. Like, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. He was pulling up all the stats in his Excel, working it all out, heavily working the percentages out. So I got to give him credit for that one. But you said it's going to be this.
Yeah.
First 3 picks.
I mean, and history repeats itself so much. It's funny, like, I don't mean to sell Jat out, but he made this comment himself, where he's like, because everyone gives Jat the crystal ball credit, right? Where he can predict everyone's picks, and he's like, I just know the players really well, and once you know the players, it's really easy to predict their next common pick.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you have to look at the players, and you're like, oh yeah, like, and that's sort of how you do it. Is you look at the players, you look at the region, you say, here are the things that they respect the most. This is what they're going to like to do, and you can get the first few picks pretty frequently that way. And again, North America did the same thing, which makes me think back to that conversation we had, saying, yeah, they're expecting these to come out. They've got a different plan in mind.
And speaking of knowing the players really well, I guess you could say that with North America because every single one of those players has played for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
In solo queue ranks. They've all played with each other at some point or another. And again, they've played in the same competitions for the last 3 years together.
Forever.
So it's nothing new. So the fact that they've come together, and this time it's not quite Chicks Dig Elo,
no.
which did win, by the way. They won the last international tournament, the World Cyber Games 2011, over in Korea at the time. And, you know, at the time when we went there, it was like, oh, I'm not too sure whether they're going to take it, but they blitzed it then. Could they do the same here?
I think there's a good chance of that. I interviewed Darius earlier in the day, and I asked him, you know, how is it playing with this new team compared to TSM? And he says, you know, after the first game, it was good. Everyone knows what they're doing, right? Everyone is so proficient in their role. Everyone's on the same page. You've got a good shot caller. They all kind of know how they're going to play the matchup. They're going to be in pretty good shape there, just kind of on instinct. And they've been practicing for the last week straight.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. But, you know, we've tried to talk about WE and IG not getting on. And
sure.
Effectively, they don't, because they're fierce rivals. And they are big rivals against each other. But after having dinner with these guys, I was thinking, these are guys not meant to get on. They seem to be getting on really well. And, well, we are finally getting back into the matchup, so hopefully we'll see just how well they can get on. Here we go. It is going to be, obviously, the China LPL team as the blue side, and the North American LCS team. X-Special caught out of position maybe here. Wei Zhao on him already. Can Troll manage to get the Demacia standard down on him? He's going to get taken low, but of course the passive, well, it would have been enough maybe. PDD was trying to close him down there. Did have the flame splitter ready, and they could have gone for an exhaust line.
Definitely a possibility there. So
Nobody's got exhaust.
Okay, just kidding. Not a possibility at all. How dare you? But certainly very afraid right there. A nice, actually, pink ward coming down as well. LPL doing a lot of homework on that one. Or, sorry, they saw it go down. But it's really a smart move by them, though, just in general. It gives them really good control over the jungle and just allows them to sort of read Saint's moves. They'll see him go through the jungle. They'll know where he goes. And they know what lanes are then available to gank and which ones aren't.
That in itself, of what I've just said, no one's got exhaust. They've got a Vayne on the team. Yeah. No one's got an exhaust to go against him. And from North America, yeah, they haven't got an exhaust. I'm not surprised because they probably don't really need it, or it would be handy on Zed. But nobody's got an exhaust against a Vayne. That seems a little crazy to me.
That is a touch risky. It really is. You know, X-Special went for heal here as a summoner spell, and you know, as far as that spell goes, Lemonation from the newly LCS minted Quantic said that's basically the best late game support summoner spell. It heals the entire team. It scales so well with level, and they're fighting guys like Rumble and Varus and Jarvan who are gonna hit most of the team with their spell combos, and so you'll get full effectiveness out of the heal itself, especially considering Special wants to reset the fights, wants to play for a late game around a Rise and a Vayne. It really plays into this North American going for late game strategy.
Well, we do have the lane swaps coming in, and it is going to be North America putting their two up the top there, and LPL responded straight away. And they put Wei Zhao and Zhao Zhao up against them. We do see an evade coming in. Troll's going to come around the side here. St. Vicious is on that red buff. He's going to show himself early. He's going to put the aggression down. Red buff, of course, still doing the damage. He's going to get the interrupt. Really have enough to kill him. He's going to keep the damage down. Missile was coming around to try and get the help in their hand there, but that's going to force him away from the blue buff.
That was really, really impressive play right there. Of course, just a good read and nice juke on the hook in the top lane as well. And Troll's not done. He's still looking for that top lane a little bit.
and he's going to slide through surely into the golems. We do see St. Vicious actually at the golems, as it is Doublelift taking a little bit of poke. No, he's gone to the red. He's gone for the invade. St. Vicious is around the corner. He may try and steal this one away. St. Vicious not really in a position to deal with it. Just use the smite. So this is going to be a red steal for China.
Now, Saint took too much damage to go back into his own jungle. He said, well, my smite's up, I'll take something with it and let it go back on cooldown. But there's a fight in the top lane.
The hook, the flay, and is that going to be enough flashes for him? The ignites on him. He's going to try and use the Hurricane Gale. He's on nothing. Wei Xiao's tower diving though. Doublelift is going to get on towards him. The tower hits coming in. And now Xiao Xiao's going to get taken out into the play. First blood comes in, and it's North America that gets it.
What beautiful play right there by Doublelift and Xpecial. Barely timing the heal, barely timing the shield, the knockback as well. I mean, that was a highlight reel of individual play. It's no wonder these guys are in the skills finals.
Well, we're seeing it before, and it was really Team WE that initiated the 3-minute tower dive, and they were trying it that time, but Troll wasn't really in position. They went a little too early, and as Troll came around, it was all too little too late. And wow, what a start for North America.
That was absolutely beautiful. So we're going to look at some of the rest of these matchups here as we go through PDD versus Dyrus. Actually an incredibly equal early game start right here. I actually talked to Dyrus a couple days ago about how he felt about his chances. He said he will go equal or win against everyone he faces against. Presumably he did his research. He's coming in very confident this weekend.
Well, you can see in terms of CS, they are very equal. There is a CS differential between Wei Xiao and Doublelift. We'll see how that plays out. But Cage's lucky pick picked up already 4 minutes in by Xpecial. That is surely going to help the support out.
Yeah, that Janna is going to be blinging. We've seen actually that as Jannas go to late game with a lot of gold, they build sort of AP Janna. They get a Morella Namacon, and they get some cooldown reductions, mobility power, and they do good damage and have really good shields late game.
PDD not giving any cares here, going 2v1 against Dyrus and St. Vicious, forcing the flash out of Dyrus. He's going to flash for it. He's going in. The ignite's down. PDD picks up the kill, and the crowd are going bonkers.
Absolutely amazing. He did that with just a rejuvenation bead there. Completely crushing down PDD, proving why he is the all-star there. 1v2 just takes him down.
Proving why he just didn't get, he had the overheat and the flame spitter on them, and they didn't respect it enough. They didn't back away from it. That was absolutely insane. In terms of CS, we're seeing, of course, Wei Xiao. He's still keeping that 10 CS lead over Doublelift, but now we do see Troll making his way towards that top lane.
And I'm curious to see what they're going to do about this, because right now, the LPL squad are just kind of pushing the vision up, trying to sneak him in to turn a kill around. Again, this is a team that's all about protect the Doublelift, get Vayne fed, and if they can get some counter ganks going, right, they've pinked toward that top brush, right? They have the avenue to let Jarvan into the lane.
It's a nervous play here, I feel, but Doublelift put in a really good exchange on Wei Xiao there, took half his health off. And we do see, of course, they have that ward in the river, which means they're going to spot Troll if he goes down there. Pink goes down. It's Troll heading down towards the mid lane and going for another invade.
Well, of course, he's certainly had a much stronger early game here, right? He pushed his opponent out of the jungle. He's taken 3 of the 4 buffs, and he wards it down. That is the best ward for invading right there, because he'll see Saint come in, steals him away, and only leaves 1 3-gold Wraith left.
Yeah, that's harsh. It's harsh, but it's fair. And now it's heading up towards the top lane. St. Vicious is close by, and I think they may spot him. Will they see? Will Troll go in towards those golems? Yes, he's going to come around the side, say hi, and now try and back off. Are the top lane going to react to this one? Yes, they're going to back off in time. And Doublelift Xpecial, play it safe.
That was really cute. He thought he was bypassing the ward and Tri-Brush. Instead, it's like, oh, Saint sees me, never mind.
The hook straight up towards Xpecial, forces the flash out, did just come back up. Halo gets the shield just in time. And well, Xpecial lives to fight yet another day.
And right now that lane is holding at exactly minus 14 minions. You mentioned it a while back when it was 28 to 14. Still that same score right there. So it seems the lane has started to equalize back out, and North America's holding on.
Well, the hook was being thrown out there, but it's Messiah in the mid lane that's getting taken low. Skara popping that ultimate and bursting it down on him. Messiah still holding his ultimate of his own, so we'll see whether he goes back in towards Skara here.
Well, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Of course, right now, Messiah has the edge. He's been spamming the minion waves down, and early game landing has never been Rise's real forte there, so I can't be too surprised with how this has been going out so far. But now Skara has tier, he has a cloth armor, and now a blue buff. He's going to have a much better time in this lane, and he actually might start winning against Messiah.
Troll's going to be picking up that red buff, which means St. Vicious' red buff will be spawning soon. We're going to see whether he keeps his eye on that one, but meanwhile, this mid lane Messiah is keeping problems. And PDD, well, against Dyrus, we saw him getting that kill, and now the CS is definitely sliding in his favor. But Troll is looking for blood in the mid lane again. They're going to go in. The ultimate was used on Skara, but he did use that flash and got away with it.
All right, so there is the escape. The summoner spell was burned, and Rise does not have many escapes. So if Troll comes back, He doesn't have Cataclysm yet, but he will have the knockup at least. That could be all it takes to kill off Skara here.
You see the Bilgewater Cutlass already built up by Messiah, and the Tear of the Goddess, of course, had to go for some armor as well, Skara, so we'll see whether he goes for maybe Seeker's Arm Guards early on. It's something we've seen countered against Zed quite a few times, but Darius really under the pressure on his tower now.
Yeah, it's not a very likely Rise buy. It could just be a Ninja Tabby. You're kind of allowed to buy whatever boots you want on Rise. It's okay to go tanky. Or it might just be for 15 armor and just like, screw it, I'm just going to waste an item slot for now. Saint is just trying to catch up in the lanes, but Darius not getting jumped on again by PDD.
PDD keeping that Flame Spitter burning, and well, that passive is not going to be enough to stop all of the damage coming out from him now. He went for the Sorcerer's Shoes early on, so he's just going to be a scary, scary thing in lane right now. And Darius, well, responsibly sticking on his turret.
And that is a smart thing to do as your Malphite. He has pretty good turret last inning. He's staying at just -10, so he'll be able to sort of stay around there. And he has teleport as well, so if something breaks out, he's got the Unstoppable Force, he's got the teleport. Darius can participate in someone else's fight pretty soon.
Well, that CS has definitely been closed a little bit. We can see Doublelift doing a job, and he has just gone back to bike. Got himself that BF sword early on compared to the Bilgewater Cutlass, of course, that Wei Zhao went towards. He's going for that Blade of the Rune King, trying to get it out early on. And the damage from Doublelift is something he wants, rather than going, say, Phantom Dancer early on.
It makes a lot of sense when you look at the lineups here, right? Darius and Saint are going to be health stacking tanks, or they're going to have a lot of health in general. And so you want Blade of the Ruin King to really do that percentage health damage, right? And of course it synergizes with Wei Zhao's W, getting more attack speed will get more triggers, and that's going to be really useful. Whereas Doublelift is fighting sort of agility type champions, right? It's this Rumble and this Zed who aren't going to have a lot of health, and so having flat attack damage is just better for you at that point.
Well, that combo damage onto Wei Zhao was definitely stinging there. We saw Doublelift put a big wave down on him, but again, you just see that lifesteal is going to put the Chain of Corruption down, and the hook on towards X Special. There's the play. Box goes down. X Special's going to try and get out of this one, but he's in all sorts of trouble. He's going to get dropped. It's going to be Wei Zhao that picks up the kill, and now they're on towards Doublelift. Will they have enough to tower dive? Cataclysm was available for Troll, but they didn't go for it.
Well, they're not going for it right now. Wei Zhao is trying to zone his opponent out, knowing it's a 1v3, but they're going to go in on Wei Zhao.
Oh, but Troll is still there. It flashes away from the hook, and now he's going to get Let's Bounce going, but Doublelift is in trouble. Troll is keeping the pressure on towards him. Wei Zhao goes in. Darius teleports in. Unstoppable Force is on there. He gets on towards Wei Zhao. He's taken so low. Just needs one more hit to finish him off. Is it going to be too much on the tower? He gets the kill, but Wei Zhao turns it back around. Saint Vicious jumps in. Can he get the lunge onto Troll? Yes, he does, but it's not enough. He got the slow down, and here comes Messiah to the top lane.
And Saint is stuck right now with Wei Zhao, and turrets on the other side of him. It's going to be very difficult. If his E does not come back up in the next 2 seconds, he is going to get caught out. No, can he land it?
Can he launch away from this one in time? Yes, he does. No, Messiah flashes through. The passing comes down. He is going to get taken down. It'll be Messiah that picks up the kill there. But the pressure is on that top lane still. Doublelift is not giving up, but it's 5-2 now in kills for the Chinese LPL All-Stars.
That was absolutely beautiful by the LPL team. Messiah had killed Skara in the mid lane during that whole encounter, which is why they have so many kills right now. Saint did at least force him to burn his flash. He forced Messiah to flash over the wall to kill him out, to kill the Bloblets. But, I mean, you said it right there. An absolutely great fight by that Chinese team, despite Darius' teleport.
Look at all those ward pots being picked up by the Chinese LPL. It is time they got control. But America reacting kind. They've got themselves a chunk of wards as well. And there is going to be a dotted river set up here. We are 12 minutes coming up to in the game, so possibly Dragon setups may be coming.
Yeah, it's the thing is that we have these 1v1 and 2v2 matchups, so we don't see early turret kills because neither matchup, or none of the 3 matchups are strong enough to kill turrets. So the big global objective, the big team fight objective, is now Dragon instead, or invading the jungle and taking the next blue buff spawn, the next red buff spawn. So it's now vision that matters more so than, well, we'll make a 3-on-1 kill your turret and go from there. It's neutrals instead.
Well, we've seen a change around. PDD now going up towards the top there. Darius, I expect, will go up there in a moment because you can already see Doublelift and X Special heading down south. Messiah putting that pink ward in the river, clearing out the vision. And it does look like the Chinese LPL are setting up for a Dragon here. And it seems they may well want to go for it. I'm not too sure North America can react either. Skara just took a lot of damage.
This is not really a big window right here for North America. Doublelift does not have any really big items. Darius just now got his ulti back. They have the rest of them assigned from Skara, who's not mandatory. They could try, but of course China's stronger right now.
Well, they are going for the Dragon. They've already stripped it down. About a quarter health down, half health stripped off here. North America not setting up. PDD going aggressive onto Skara. He's going to get enough. Lands the perfect ultimate and just absolutely shreds him. Now they're going to turn towards St. Vicious. They pick the Dragon up. Can they get on towards it? Darius has the use his unstoppable force to get away. St. Vincent is going to get torched down. PDD with a blowtorch on the end of Rumble right now.
Oh, looks like I was wrong about that one. Yes, PDD likes running in there and using his body to kill people, but Rumble certainly is his kind of champion. That maxed out flame spitter just runs at people and punches them to death with fire. And PDD, proven again, guy's really good on Rumble.
Well, that is going to be the first turret of the game. The gold lead is starting to stretch heavily in the favor of the Chinese LPL All-Stars. They are now 4,000 gold up, just 13.5 minutes in this game. This is probably not how the North American team were envisioning this start. But now we're going to see Zhao Zhao going headlong in towards the jungle. In fact, they're going to go straight on towards Wei Zhao. They may have enough to take him down here. Howling Gale comes in with the hook, and there's the dark passage. Can they go in towards Wei Zhao? The flake comes out. Double Lift just needs one more shot. The barrier bank comes in. Wei Zhao turns around. Double Lift does manage to get the kill though, but he's taken down by Zhao Zhao, and now X Special's in trouble. The Troll is coming down. He's going to jump across. Is he going to have Cataclysm available? Yes, he does, but he doesn't choose to go for it because wisely St. Vicious and Scara were coming.
All those wards they used for Dragon spotted the lane movements as well. It's just a nice happenstance there for the Chinese team to say, hold on, we're getting counter-ganked, let it go. But absolutely amazing play right there to turn that one, turn it around. It's a 1v1, but getting jumped on, and they still did well in that fight, the Chinese team.
Fantastic play here from the Chinese LPL All-Stars, and we kind of expected the same. You guys are home. Well, it seems you had 59% in favor of North America, but right now it's looking like game one may well go the way of China, but it is still early days, remember. We are not even 15 minutes gone in this game, so major objectives still yet to fall. And Messiah sitting off the side there, but he's on top of a ward. Scara's not that stupid.
The one thing to remember is that the North American team wants to play for the late game anyway. They've made some moves and tried to start fights, and they haven't all gone their way. They usually go equal. It's okay for them to give up dragons as long as they can make it to late game and not lose too much of their base. They have lost 2 turrets so far, certainly looking very good for the LPL team, but if they don't keep pressing advantages, North America will outscale them.
And let's not forget, these are all best of 3 matches as well, so still plenty of games to play. Stands Double Lift, keeping that farm going and trying his best to catch up, but it looks like LPL going to keep the pressure on the mid lane. PDD heading up back up to the top to protect that turret top, and still North America yet to be able to shove down. We do see Dyrus making moves in the jungle, but it's simply to back off.
Right now, this is a lot of smart moves there by the LPL squad. You saw them pushing into that second middle turret right there. This is that's the type of moves you want to see from them. They can't really rush Baron this early. None of them are great Baron killers. Dragon, of course, is gone right now. They haven't been able to make any moves into the jungle, but pushing out these side turrets with 2 or 3 members constantly, that is a good move by them.
So let's have a look across some of the items to see how it's been working out. Of course, as you mentioned, Scara's not really going to be looking too strong right now because, simply put, Rise wants to build that melee, put those actually on. Whereas you look at Messiah, he's already got the Brutalizer, already got the Blade of the Rune King, so it's no surprise that they are doing a heck of a lot of damage right now. Already got the Blade of the Rune King, so it's no surprise that they are doing a heck of a lot of damage right now. Double Lift as well. He's going to back away. They're trying to bait out Wei Zhao here. St. Vicious is going to jump in. He's going to get the Let's Bounce going on, but the Dark Passage instantly yanks him away, and that ultimate was burned.
That was absolutely great play there without, anything major really required. Just a great lantern, a great dodge by Wei Zhao. Perfect opening for them. So I want to go back to what you were talking about earlier with Messiah versus Scara, because you've got a 2,000 gold lead in the heads-up 1v1 between Messiah and Scara. He's got 2 kills, 3 assists, as well as those 2 turrets and Dragon for global objectives. And that is a huge heads-up matchup, because they're going to keep fighting each other, and Messiah will keep winning it.
He will keep putting the pressure down, and that's going to be the 3rd outer turret of the game. And China do take it down. It's a 3-0 in turrets, and that takes the gold lead to just close to 6,000 gold now. 17 minutes gone in this game.
The number I always tell myself for gold leads is 20%. If it's more than 20%, it's usually a really, really big deal, and that's the mark where it's like, man, this is hard to come back from. But that said, I don't know what else I can really say about the story here, but the Chinese team, right? This feels like the WE style. They're like, yeah, we'll split up and farm and go for the late game, when that's not really in their wheelhouse right now. They've outplayed individually and taken kills in team fights, but now they're just like, yeah, I'll play the laning phase for a while.
Well, if you think of the European LCS team that they have, obviously you think SOAS replacing Darien, that is maybe supercharging Gambit a little bit. Well, PDD replacing Salmei. Maybe that is supercharging a little bit. We do see St. Vincent's getting targeted. They're coming around the backside. Doublelift in trouble. He's going to try and pop his ultimate. It's not going to be enough. And well, PDD comes in, throws down that equalizer. Now Xpecial's in trouble. Messiah picks up that kill. It's now 10-3. And surely the Chinese LPL All-Stars are in a commanding position now.
That was absolutely beautiful by them. And like every time it seems I am wrong once more, they actually went for the aggressive play, that dive on that dead outside turret. And we've talked about how much that can matter sometimes. When outer turrets are gone, you give up map control, and they can roam into the opposing jungle. Scar's trying to run away. I'm not sure if he'll make it out.
No, Messiah's trying to cut him off here. St. Vincent's is going to jump across. They're trying to put the damage down to Messiah before they take him down. He's very low. They just need to wait for his cooldown. Scar is trying to get his cooldowns off there. Flashes out, but he's going to get taken down. And now St. Vicious is the target. He wants to move towards Messiah. Dyrus is coming around the side here. Doublelift and Xpecial are back up. Can they put the damage on towards Messiah before he dies? Yes, they can. He's not going to be able to dive to a turret.
Oh my God!
Gets away. Didn't go for the dark passage though, and Dyrus uses Unstoppable Force to pick up the kill.
He nearly got out of that one. That was so beautiful by Messiah, proving again why he's an all-star. I feel like this entire weekend is going to be full of plays like that because every player here is so good. But at the end of the day, it was a 1-for-1 right there. Dyrus got the pickup gold there, the shutdown gold, which is probably, I would say, not the person you want for it for the North American team. Xpecial got first blood, and you got a cage pick for it, and that's cool. Dyrus got the shutdown gold, but where's that Scar and Doublelift gold? That's where the North American team needs kills.
Well, Dyrus has quite happily shoved that lane, gone back to buy. He's 2 for 2 now. He's picked up that Sunfire cape, and he's going to keep going a little bit stronger. Xpecial is hanging off the side. There is a ping ward down. They can't quite see that ward, though, so they don't realize that WE can see them. It's just off to the side. It will be, nevertheless, a blue buff for Scara, and that is important. Doublelift, though, off on his own down that bottom, farming away and shoving that lane pretty heavily. We do see Zhao Zhao just off the side, trying to wind it up, but he's not going to be landing on Doublelift.
Yeah, he couldn't do anything until Wei Zhao showed up. He can't 1v1 a Bloodthirster Vayne. And then as soon as Varus did show, Doublelift was like, late, 1v2 probably, I'm out.
Uh-oh, they're going to try and head him off here. PDD, Messiah, and Troll coming down here. Instead, it's the Dragon they want to go for, and they're going to have full control of that.
Dyrus' teleport is up, but it looks like they're not going to try to make a move here. The best hope for NA is that Dyrus can push down the top turret and finally get a global objective. No one is remotely close to the top lane from the Chinese squad, so this could be a turret pickup.
We do see Wei Zhao keeping that CS farm over Doublelift. No surprise there with the amount of times he's been targeted. We do see some pings out, but Dyrus, he should take down that top turret, but he's got to be careful. PDD is heading him off, and already Dyrus starts to back away.
That's actually really, really good Spidey sense. Even puts the ward down, spots the rumble coming, and PDD's not even going to follow suit with that one. So Dyrus got damage in the turret, but didn't quite kill it off. Next time someone looks at it the wrong way, it will fall over. But again, it was an uncontested Dragon. The LPL squad are picking up some really good moves.
Yeah, Zhao Zhao and Messiah were also heading off Dyrus, so wisely instead he backs off. Pink Ward war has begun between Xpecial and Zhao Zhao. I mean, it is going to be LPL. Look at this, St. Vicious may get baited into something here, but he realizes his jungle is not a safe place right now.
The Pink Ward War is going to be really interesting, actually, because Xpecial has more passive gold income than his opponent, than Xiao Xiao, because he's got that Cage's Lucky Pick for 4 gold per 10 seconds. The problem is, all the global objectives are going LPL's way, so he's getting a lot of ambient gold without any items.
We may see Dyrus go for this one, you know. The rest of the team are coming around. He has got Unstoppable Force available. Goes in for Zhao Zhao, though. That's not really the target they wanted. They will get the kill. St. Vicious lets bounce. He's just getting massacred there. The Equalizer comes out. Cataclysm on towards Xpecial. That's going to be a pick-up kill for Messiah now. Then Scar is going to be the target. PDD thought about going into this one. They have got the minion wave to come in with them. It's still a 4v3, and they're keeping pressure on the inhibitor turret. They're going to back away, though. Scar should have enough to keep the wave clear.
Doublelift has just been split pushing the bottom lane the entire time, which is so risky for them because they're going to go in on Scar.
Oh my word, Messiah just picks up the kill there. Dyrus comes back around. They do take a couple of tower hits. I'm not sure they can quite get this turret down. Yes, they can. Look at PD.
Yeah.
He just zones out Dyrus completely.
So they're going to trade a secondary turret for a tertiary turret and an inhibitor. This is so good for the LPL team. I mean, once they lost the initial fight, pulling Doublelift back wouldn't have helped anymore anyway. But the decision to say, yeah, let's go for a 4v5, I'm not sure if that was the right choice for the North Americans.
No, it sometimes works for CLG, but this time it backfired pretty horribly. And losing an inhibitor is never great. Doublelift does want to take away that large raid. Oh, they're going to try and catch on to Wei Zhao. We're not quite going to get in there in time. And Doublelift, well, he's going to keep picking up the farm, and he's actually passed Wei Zhao in farm, but it doesn't matter. Wei Zhao has the Blade of the Rune King and an Infinity Edge now, and look at the gold completely different. Because of those global objectives they've had, he's got a 1,200 gold lead. Those 2 dragons, all those turrets they've picked up now, 5-2 in turrets, has given the Chinese LPL a big advantage in the gold sense, and that is 6,500 still.
So now it's really how well can the North American team split push. They finally picked up some global objectives, which is nice for them. They can have someone sit there at the top lane and soak up that super minion farm. All the waves will actually constantly push toward North America because of the inhibitor death. All 3 waves will keep going towards the red side of the map. But the problem is we're now late enough in the game. I say late enough at 23 minutes, but there's so much gold for the Chinese team, they can start Baron.
Dyrus stood on top of a ward there in the tri-bush, and they are setting up for him. They are ready to go towards him. Will they let him get away? You can see, the hook was coming through, and they thought they could maybe land it. Dyrus' sixth sense kind of set him up there. I thought we were going to see the hook coming out straight through the tri-bush and through the Baron pit, but it is going to be the Baron started off here for the Chinese LPL team. And North America, they are in position to react to this.
Yeah, they can expect this is happening right now. They know they have very limited vision, and that the Chinese team can start out on it. So the fight could start very, very soon. We'll see if Saint can go for the smite here, if they even want to go for the battle.
Oh, the Baron attacked him. The Baron attacked him and unstopped him. He goes in, he gets the smite. He lands the smite. Can they get the unstoppable force? Yes, they do. We're going to see Double Lift dive on though. He's already taken control now. Now he's on Wei Zhao, and you can see the slow on Zhao Zhao. It's going to be a 2-for-1 at the moment. That's going to make it a 3-for-1. Can they go for 4? Wei Zhao's getting targeted, and the North American team are turning this one around by another Baron fight. How many times have we seen these Baron fights go back and forth? And well, Saint Vicious really is the saint of the North American scene right now, because that smite may well have got North America back in this game.
And they actually won the fight afterwards too. I've seen teams pile in and steal Baron and still get ace and be like, whoa, at least we got Baron, but our base is dead. The North American team won that fight. Let's get a replay of that, because I want to see how they still managed to win the battle even after the steal. So they're going to go in. Saint's going to miss that E. The knockup from Baron actually cancels him out. Gets a flash for it and then guess. So he gets that. The fight starts. Look at that unstoppable force. It hit 3 people, and they layer on top of it, and Double Lift is free to roam. Messiah's ultimate was used on Skara, so Double's like, I'm a fed Vayne running around in a playground. This is great. He's stealing candies from babies at this point and gets a triple kill off of that battle. Messiah does get out just barely, but that's the thing. There's enough threats there that if Messiah and PDD spend it on one threat, and that was Scar there, they don't spend it on Double Lift, he's safe.
Oh, the hook being thrown out from Zhao Zhao, not quite landing, but this has definitely given North America a chance. They are, of course, 1 inhibitor down. Let's not count them out into it just yet. We do see Phantom Dancer was picked up by Double Lift, and we know Vayne is going to get stronger. He's at 4-2-2 right now. They're keeping the pressure on towards his bottom 2. Dyrus is there, doesn't have unstoppable force available, remember, and looks like the Chinese LPL team want to fight for this one, but North America are defending strongly.
This is very, very interesting as well, because you're seeing the Double Lift build progression. He always builds a defensive item third. Like, I've literally always seen it this way, and he's going for a Frozen Mallet this time, which will let him chase people as well as kite Rumble. I don't know if it's enough health to survive against Messiah, because he's got a Blade of the Rune King. Health doesn't help against Zed's itemization.
The super minions going in that top wave, so sooner or later someone from North America is going to have to deal with it. It's Dyrus that's gone up there. Remember, he's got teleport though. We see the Chinese LPL team moving in, and they're going to put a couple of shots down on it. Dyrus will clear out this wave if he had to put some hammer down, but that waves, they are starting to put pressure on. But of course the shield coming out from Jano special, he's trying to keep it defended, but I'm not sure it's quite going to be enough.
I think if Dyrus teleports here, it won't work all that. He is going to teleport to a ward on the left hand side. He's going for it now.
He comes in, but the ward, look at that. It's the ward around the corner again, the one they couldn't see earlier on. It gives the Chinese LPL such a big warning sign, and they were backing off instantly.
I don't know if this is quite going to work, because super minions are flooding into the North American base. I mean, yeah, they've got some Baron buff, but North America is still the team that's defending here. They're down in gold, they're down turrets, their minions are flooding in, their mid turrets taking damage as Double Lift runs over to go defend it. Like, you should be hitting minion. Okay, thank you for defending your turret, Double Lift. But yeah, this is a situation where the North American team still has to play defensive and lose out on Dragon, lose out on their Baron buff. It's just try to catch up in gold time for them.
But they were 6.5k behind, and now only 2,000 behind. Yeah. And obviously, Baron buff they did get. And look at Double Lift. You know, if he's left to get farming, he's now ahead in gold of his rival Wei Zhao. He's going to be strong, but Messiah is still 3,000 gold over Skara right now. That may be a problem. And of course, PDD, we've seen how strong he can be on Rumble. He did get the equalizer, a great position in the Baron pit, but unfortunately for them, everybody came out of the Baron pit and he put it in there.
Yeah, but the thing is for Skara, he's actually hit sort of the right point in his life. He's got the Errata Fate is completed, the Seraph's Embrace is completed, and he's now starting on Frozen Heart. That's his next pickup here. So he's actually going to be able to withstand the damage output from his opposition. He's going to be able to withstand the Zed Burst.
And we're also seeing, of course, Xpecial. He's starting to build, as we've seen many times with Janna. He's going to become far more useful, you feel, than Zhao Zhao will, because he's starting to get the damage as well as the gold per second. They're going into it. It's going to be PDD they target towards. They force the Dark Passage there, but Saint Vicious is like, get off my race.
It's going to be interesting because I want to see what Xiao Xiao does. Because you're right that as far as like scaling is concerned, John is going to outpace him, and that's going to be really grand. It's a lot of feelings, a lot of shields. However, there is no cleanse or CC removal at all from the North American lineup. If he gets a death sentence on Doublelift, it'll be a literal death sentence for him. So it's going to be a risky proposition for Vayne to dodge that skill shot.
And they let them have the inner turret. Doublelift was off at the top there, keeping the super minions at bay, and it looks like it's going to be a third inner turret being given up here. North America not in a position to defend it. Doublelift is a long way off in this map, and I feel that Chinese LPL will turn straight towards this one. The question is, will they react? Will they pile in for them?
Well, the North American team is certainly looking to defend it, and Xpecial can keep shielding that turret as well, so the siege is not even easy for the Chinese squad. You've seen this turret stay alive despite 4v fighting for it for a while, even a while back. It's still above half health, so this is kind of the funny part because the North American team is playing the late game situation, and as long as Xpecial's on the ball, it's not easy at all for the LPL squad to start a battle. North America can just sit there and farm at their turret for the entire game.
And if there's one thing North America is good at, it's late-game team fights.
Yes.
They are very, very good at them. Saint Vicious might get caught out here. He's going to get hooked in, but he should be able to walk away from it. He's not really the target they want to focus on, but he's the target they've taken very low regardless. There is a minute up on Baron, though, so it's not the end of the world right now. He's just going to back off, and it's going to be Zhao Zhao continuing to clear out those wards. But what I was suggesting, oh no, they've interrupted him. They do go down towards Dyrus. That's going to be Chain of Corruption on towards Dyrus. He's going on towards Saint Vicious. He gets his left bounce going down, but the equalizer hits, and it is shredding North America to pieces. Messiah taking solo. Doublelift gets dropped. It is an ace right there, and that is going to be clean-up move for the Chinese LPL. Discount everything I just said. That is game one to China.
5-0 in that battle. Absolutely beautifully started. And there's the hardcore initiation we look for. There's the combo that they like to pick so often. Jarvan starting things out. Rumble follows up really quickly. Varus and Thresh, I mean, every single person just followed up right there and said, we'll kill you, we'll kill you, we'll kill you, we'll kill you, and clean up the North American team. You called it. That is game one of the Chinese LPL All-Star team.
Very good play there from the Chinese LPL. North America has that tiniest of little chances, but you can hear the crowd. You know who the favorites are. It is going to be the Chinese LPL All-Stars taking game one against North America.
It makes you wonder, do the North Americans really want to give them...
PDD showing his power there, giving it the big fist, and he was happy with that one. And of course, you've got to think, PDD, he was the man that caused